What's up guys, Tanjum here, and today I'm going to be doing a theory video. Now this video is going to be a theory on what's been going on with the whole Time Runs Out, Incursions, Secret Wars event that's going to be going on, or has been going on in the Marvel Universe, in the 616 universe, not just in 616, in the entire multiverse. And you know, I just thought I'd throw my hat into this whole thing. Now, MarvelExplained's channel has been doing the Incursions storyline, and in the comments, he put down that he had a theory that the Beyonder might be behind this whole thing. You know, behind the whole Secret Wars and the Incursions and all that stuff like that. It's a pretty solid theory. However, you know, I'm going to be explaining who I think might be behind all this. And that is Dr. Stephen Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. Now, it's not going to be our Doctor Strange that's behind this, because that, frankly, would be, you know, a little impossible. However, I want to show you the road to basically what the alternate version of him has done. Basically, follows a similar road, but basically at the end diverts and becomes the one who's behind all this. So let's start at the beginning. First, we meet Black Swan in this whole Incursions event, and she's captured. And when she's captured, she is introduced to the Illuminati. Now, as she's going down the line of being introduced to everybody, she is introduced to Doctor Strange. Now, when she meets him, she has no idea who he is, and basically he explains himself to her. He says to her, you know, I'm Doctor Strange, Dr. Stephen Strange. I'm the Sorcerer Supreme of this universe. I'm basically one of the most powerful men in this group, and basically one of the most powerful beings in this world, possibly the universe. And you know, every time he's introduced, that's what he says. He's one of the most powerful beings in the universe, because he is basically the mystic guardian of this reality, and it's been said time and time again. So after he introduces himself, Black Swan basically just says to him, you know what, you're a magic user, you're disgusting to me, don't even bother talking to me. You know, you're less than scum to me, you know, go away, basically. And this to me, this is telling of two things. One, Black Swan has basically been across the multiverse and into several versions of the Illuminati. And for her to be sort of caught by surprise by who Doctor Strange is, pretty telling. Why would she not know who he is? I mean, there's definitely multiple versions of him. And secondly, we wonder, why is she so disgusted by a magic user? Why does she basically throw up her nose to a magic user? Why does she not want nothing to do with Doctor Strange? And we sort of give a hint to why she would be sort of disgusted by him. Now, as she's captured, she explains basically the whole thing about the Incursions, the players behind, who's behind all this. And one of the players is the Black Priest. Now, I want you guys to look at the screen here and see that Black Priest right there? Look at his helmet. Now, his helmet is showing an eye. Now, I have two theories about this. One, the eye represents the Eye of Agamotto, which it could happen. Or two, which the one I'm leaning more towards, is the Eye of Shuma-Gorath. Now, you know, as you may well know, Shuma-Gorath is basically, you know, an alternate version of Cthulhu. Now, Cthulhu is basically this all-powerful, omnipotent being, who basically is the destroyer of everything, not just here on Earth, the entire universe. And Shuma-Gorath sort of falls into that line, where he's basically basically the embodiment of chaos, which chaos is the thing that destroys everything. You know, it's the end-all be-all, you know, of everything. And as Black Swan's continuing this story about who the players are in this whole thing, she mentions the Mapmakers, which the Illuminati have fought the Mapmakers and defeated them. And basically, the new Illuminati say, you know, if the map makers are the biggest problem that we have, we defeated them, you know, we can deal with that. But she's basically saying, no, the map makers have a boss, and you haven't met him yet, and he's big trouble. And what we see here on this big splash page is basically a big helmet, Galactic style helmet with an eye. Now, tell me that doesn't look like a Shuma-Gorath eye. It's either the Eye of Agamotto eye or the Shuma-Gorath eye, which I'm leaning more toward the Shuma-Gorath eye. That looks so much like the Shuma-Gorath eye. Now, during Infinity, Doctor Strange gets corrupted by the Ebony Man, which is one of Thanos' minions, and he gets so corrupted that he actually does summon Shuma-Gorath to the Earth 616 universe, and if you've read Mighty Avengers, you see that he actually does get summoned, and that the Mighty Avengers do eventually defeat him. You know, in a way, because you can't really defeat Shuma-Gorath. And that just leads me towards this point here, is that the Ebony Man, pretty much, he pushes Doctor Strange to that breaking point, past that breaking point where, you know, he corrupts him so much that he's willing to go to distance to do stuff like that, to go to the really, really dark paths. And to me, that's the tipping point right there, where he, you know, is willing to go the distance to do whatever it takes. Now, after another incursion happens, you know, they're pretty much desperate. The Illuminati's desperate to try things without destroying a world. Now, Doctor Strange is like, you know what? I am gonna go and acquire power to destroy a world, because, you know, eventually we're gonna need it. So what he does is that he basically goes to hell or purgatory, and basically he asks for power to do this, to destroy a world. And what he does is basically sells his soul to these beings to destroy a world. And, you know, this is where I sort of tie into the Ebony Man, where Ebony Man pushed him so far beyond his limit and corrupted him so far to, you know, the breaking point, that he's willing to do this, because normally Doctor Strange would not go and do something like this. Now, these beings, they were said, you know, we're willing to give you this power. However, we can't give it to you. And the reason why is that you have no soul to bargain with. You have nothing to give us in return for this power. And the way Doctor Strange's look on his face, as you can see, his look on his face is like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You know, he's like utter shock. Like, you're telling me I don't have a soul? Now, this leads to me to believe that somehow, in one point in time, that Strange lost his soul. He's now an empty vessel to Shuma-Gorath, and that he's some sort of you know, avatar or minion of Shuma-Gorath. And I'll get to an explanation as to what he actually is, or the alternate version is, later on in the video. Now, he basically Strange is basically desperate. He's saying, you know, he has no other choice. You know, his choices are basically limited. So he goes to the Blood Bible, which he's had for a while now. Now the Blood Bible is basically one of the bigger books of corrupt books in the Marvel universe. It's really kind of maybe a step down from the Darkhold, but it's still very, very powerful. Now, in one of those pages, you can see a tentacle wrapping around a world. Now, come on, guys. Tentacle, Shuma-Gorath, it just makes perfect sense. To me, it makes perfect sense as to where this is going, basically. And so he does this enchantment to do this thing, to acquire this power through the Blood Bible. And so basically that's what happens. That's what he does, is acquire this power from the Blood Bible. Now the Illuminati go to this new incursion, and they find out that there's heroes in this other world. Basically, what the heroes are basically is Marvel's version of the Justice League. Basically, they even go so far as to name one of the people's sun god, you know, powers of Superman, and Wayne, who is basically Bruce Wayne, you know, Batman, basically. And they fight these guys. Now they're losing pretty badly, and Strange pretty much basically says, you know what, enough. I've had enough. I'm going to use this power that I just acquired. And he basically destroys everything. He destroys everybody in the battlefield. He, basically the Justice League, or the League of Justice as they call them. He basically kills them off. And this is a real telling sign for me, because one, as you can see here, the eye on his forehead has become more corrupt. It's basically become evil. And that's just saying that, he's evil. He's become very, very evil. And that he's so far beyond redemption now that he's evil. And he's willing to destroy worlds to achieve his goals. And as you can see here, one of these members right here, the members with the glasses, he was actually the sorcerer in that universe. And he acquired a Black Priest helmet. Or his helmet, I should say. And it looks sort of like a Black Priest helmet, and it has the eye right there. And this leads me to believe that somehow, somewhere along the line, this alternate version of Doctor Strange sort of became this character. He becomes this character with the eye and this helmet and stuff like that, and he just became so powerful that the helmet and him became one, basically. Now, at the end of all this, another incursion happens, and basically the Illuminati is saying, you know what, we're not going to stoop so low as to kill another world. We're basically going to let it collide with this, and let that be it. Let that be the end of it. And as each member of the Illuminati are sort of enjoying their last moments on Earth, Doctor Strange turns to Wong, and he says, Wong, am I a good person? Am I a good man? And Wong turns to him and disappointingly says, no, you're no longer a good man. Basically he's saying you're no longer the person I once knew. You're no longer the good man, the person who always did the right thing no matter what. But that's a perfect telling sign right there that he's now stepped over the edge. Not even his closest friend acknowledges the person he is anymore. And that's, to me, it's a telling sign of his basically of his end of his humanity, and may possibly be the end of the entire Marvel universe, the entire Marvel universes, I should say. Now, at the end of this run right here, end of the story right here, this part of the story, we see that Namor has basically formed the Cabal, and the Cabal is basically the alternate version of the anti-version of the Illuminati. Now, usually with the Cabal, there's always an opposite to each member of the Illuminati. However, when this picture gets in the frame right here, we see that there's pretty much an equal to everybody, except Doctor Strange. We don't see a sorcerer there, a magic user anywhere in there, and that pretty much tells me that something's going to happen with Doctor Strange, and that he's a bigger part of this picture, and that that's pretty much it, that he's going to be part of a bigger picture. Now, my theory is that this alternate version of Doctor Strange somehow sort of melds and combines with Shuma-Gorath and becomes this omnipotent being that kills everything and everybody, and that's just my theory. He just becomes one with Shuma-Gorath and destroys everything. That's what wants to destroy everything. And that's it. That's pretty much it. We won't know what the end-all be-all is for Hickman's run, and I'm just enjoying this run. If you guys want to pick it up, it's in hardcover right now, and trade. There's a couple of trades out right now too. I suggest you pick them up. Read this run because it's very enjoyable. It's very, very good. And yeah, who do you guys think might be behind this? Write in the comments below. Enjoy, guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.